All right, good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning.
It looks better when I back up.
It does look, it looks a
Okay.
little better.
All right, we were
I've
laughing
kinda
because we
squeezed
set
in
the
here.
cameras in here, and Tyler is so much taller than me that we looked a little goofy. All right, well,
That's
Tyler is
okay.
here. We're going to talk about
Hi.
the weather today and the first alert weather day tomorrow, too,
Yeah,
right?
so the big thing is the first alert day tomorrow. I mean,
Okay.
today's forecast, not so bad.
Not so
really.
bad.
Lots of sunshine around. Temperatures will be above average. So if you have any plans today, you're good to go.
Okay.
It's tomorrow.
All right, let's take a look here at some of
Not
the-
too great out there.
This
First
is
alert
what we're
weather
talking
day.
about, right?
Yeah. Some heavy rain at times, gusty wind, and by gusty wind, we mean 40 to 50 miles per hour. And so that'll lead to, of course, some travel impacts, some power outages.
Yeah.
And we'll be tracking it all morning long on the morning show here.
Never good to be without power on a cold winter day.
Exactly. Well, it starts off actually very warm.
Okay.
Temperatures in the morning by 10, 11 o'clock, we'll be in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
Even pushing 60 degrees in some places. But we'll be seeing periods of heavy rain. Those wind gusts will pick up as well. Then by midday tomorrow, we kind of get a lull in the action around like 1, 2 o'clock. Briefly calmer wind. The heaviest of the rain moves out. Later on in the evening, that's when the temperatures begin to drop off quite a bit.
Okay.
So throughout the afternoon, temperatures will be dropping. We'll see the isolated snow shower chance, not like too bad of an impact, but
Okay.
just something to keep in mind, you know. And then those wind gusts pick back up as well. So the biggest impacts we're concerned about are the heavy rain and wind, quite frankly.
Right.
Flooding isn't a huge concern with this one, and certainly the snow showers we're seeing are not a huge concern either. But just something to keep you in mind and give you the first alert to that tomorrow evening.
Well, and especially if the power goes out on a day like that, it's hard for crews to get out and fix it if it's still windy.
Yes.
And if it's raining hard.
Exactly. And so the rain will let up, but it looks like the wind will continue as well. So that's something we'll kind of have to keep an eye on throughout the day.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, thanks. So just
Thank
get
you.
out and enjoy today, right?
Get out and enjoy today. And the weekend's looking pretty good as well. So if you have any weekend plans, like A-okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we've been covering a couple of top stories this morning. One of them in Waterbury. You know, they've been
water main
dealing
break.
with that water main break for days now.
Right.
So we had Anna there this morning. She's going to bring us here. Let me restart this, and we'll get right to Anna to tell us
Finally, those kids are getting back to school.
Yep. So let's get an update from Anna here about what's happening in Waterbury.
Advisory still in effect this morning for all of Waterbury. Water samples sent to a state lab for testing yesterday afternoon. Those results should be in later today, and the mayor is hopeful they'll come back clean. In the meantime, though, you should still be boiling your water before you use it. Restaurants in the city should also remain closed until those clean results come in, unless they have a water source that isn't coming from the city. As you wake up, if you need some clean water to drink, the city plans to continue handing out free bottled water at Municipal Stadium starting this morning.
Okay, so we've been getting sort of daily updates from Waterbury. So we know that yesterday they sent the water off to be tested. That's why the boil water advisory is still in effect. And it will remain that way, as Anna was mentioning, until they get those test results back. The mayor had said this week that usually it takes about 24 hours. So we're anticipating that perhaps those results will come in later today. Of course, we will bring you the latest when we find out what the results of those water tests are. And also, just to mention, that schools are back in session today, but they were asking parents to send their kids with water bottles because the water fountains in the school will be shut off. They won't be preparing food in the school. They'll be bringing that in from the outside because while they can use the plumbing and all that, they still have that boil water advisory. They're advising folks to not drink the water yet until those test results come back. So if you sent your kid back to Crosby High School this morning, one of the many schools back in session today, we had Taylor Knight out there this morning talking about what parents needed to know, sending their kids back to school for the first time in many days. I think they had 4 days off, 3 or 4 days off because of the water main break. That's obviously time they're going to have to make up at the end of the school year, but they were anxious to get those kids back in school as soon as possible. Of course, we haven't even hit the middle of winter here yet, and they've already had to use some of those snow days because of the water main break. So if your kids went back to school today, just know that the water fountains are going to be off, and they're not going to be preparing food inside the school until all of the restrictions are lifted because of this water main break. And also, if you don't have water yet, It has been restored to the whole city, but if you're one of the homes still having trouble getting water, it could be because of a mechanical issue going on. So the city of Waterbury wants you to let them know about that, and they'll send a crew out to your house to try to alleviate that. But by this time, everyone should have water back, and if you don't, then that means there's another problem that the city of Waterbury is going to have to come out and address, and they'll be able to fix that for you. Our other big story this morning came out of Cheshire. We had Roger Suzanne in there. There's a big redistricting initiative going on in the town there because of enrollment going up. And there's 2 new schools being built, one in Norton in place of the Norton school that's already there. It's being built right behind that older school, and Chapman, which is closing this year, and Barnum Elementary is going to be opening up. So there's a lot of discussion in Cheshire right now among parents and school officials about where students will be going to school next year now that this redistricting plan is in place. And that's one of the things that they're going to be talking about at a meeting tonight, which is expected to be very well attended. Let's get to Roger with the latest on that.
Yeah, good morning, ladies. And you know, the truth is, in many ways, Cheshire has a good problem to have, but booming student enrollment also does create challenges, and some parents feel like they were misled during this process. Right now, construction crews in Cheshire are building not 1, but 2 brand new elementary schools, although it's unclear right now exactly which students will go to class where. Tonight, the Board of Ed is set to finalize the redistricting plan by voting on 2 proposals, and some parents of kids at Chapman Elementary dislike both plans. They feel duped because they say district leaders told them that their kids would go to the new Barnum Elementary, but under both final plans, Chapman students would be split up, with many not going to a new school. They even started a petition over the issue, but unless something changes, they'll leave tonight's meeting frustrated by the board's decision. Now, under both of these final proposals, Chapman parents could still apply to transfer their children to one of these new schools. However, they would not get guaranteed bus services. Tonight's meeting is set for 7:30. Of course, we'll track all the developments as they happen. Reporting in Cheshire, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, as Roger was just mentioning there are 2 preferred plans that they're now looking at, and they seem to be preferring Plan B2. If you log on to our website, we actually have all of these listed for you if you want to take a closer look and see where your address falls in here. But again, the Board of Education will be reviewing that tonight and talking about it. That meeting expected to be well represented by parents, and we've heard a lot from parents over the last few weeks about this, and a lot from school officials as well, who have been upfront about everything that's been going on there. So of course, we'll keep you updated on any new developments out of Cheshire tonight. Many parents anxiously waiting to see where their kids will be going to school next year. They're also doing a transportation study there, and we'll be looking at rerouting bus routes because of that redistricting plan as well. So we'll keep you posted in Cheshire. It's just about 8:55 now. Great Day at 9A is up next. We'll be talking more about the First Alert Weather Day. Scott will have an update on that at Great Day at 9A. All right, have a great day, everyone.